Hey everyone, this is Andrew, and in this video I'm going to talk about just some of the heavy hitters I was referring to in my last video. So we talked about how to get into electronic music production, kind of on the cheap, but kind of whatever I thought was the best for the cheapest, which was the machine bundle. But I mentioned there was some kind of heavy hitter, quote unquote heavy hitter plugins that you would want in particular. And I thought I'd point some of those out just because maybe you can find a replacement for them, or maybe you would consider buying them just individually. However, I would not recommend that because if you're going to pay $200 for a plugin, you might as well spend $500 or $600 and get 30 plugins. But if you're strapped on cash, that's an option. And also you can get demos of some of these plugins, which you can't save your presets in these demos, but you can still kind of get a feel for them. So if I go to synthesize and electronic, this is where a lot of the heavy hitters I was referring to are going to be. So we have Massive. This is probably by far the biggest thing you want to get if you're doing electronic music. It's just an analog, software instrument. Massive, definitely, I would say number one. It's the most popular as far as I can tell. As far as machine goes, Machine comes with Massive, and most of the presets you're going to get are on Massive, and most of the tutorials on YouTube you're going to see of how to make a certain sound by a certain musician is going to be on Massive. Going down this list, now that's not to say that any of the ones I skip are bad. I'm just saying that what is the most important. So Massive, I would say most important. I'm going to come back to these two because they're very important, but the next biggest is FM8. So FM8 and Massive, I would say, are the best two. If you had to buy two, I don't know why you would just buy two when you can buy a whole bundle. But if if you want to get maybe demos of these, I know that Massive offers a demo. It's limited, but see, it's $150, whereas you can just get the $600 bundle and get all of them. FM8, you can get a demo. And again, you might want to get a demo just so you can play around and figure out if you're even interested in this, because making sounds is definitely a unique experience that is probably not enjoyed by all. Some people enjoy it a lot more than others. I like writing a lot more than I like making sounds from scratch. It is fun making new sounds, however, I like the writing process more than that. So FM8 and Massive, two biggest. Absinthe is very good for making atmospheric pads. A lot of the presets you'll see have these long evolving sounds where you can kind of just hit one key and it's gonna just play this 1 minute long ambient thing that you can just throw in your song immediately at any key. So it's very useful, and there's kind of unlimited potential in terms of what you can make. You can kind of use each one of these to make sounds, so they cross over a little bit. You can kind of use each one to make sounds in the other. But each one has its specialty. This uses what's called FM synthesis. This uses like wavetable subtraction, I think it's called, where you make a sound, then you kind of like subtract out the elements you want. Absinthe, I don't really know how it works. Monarch is the next one. It's kind of like, it's a monophonic synthesizer. It feels a little more, I guess, old-fashioned. It is purely monophonic, meaning that if you hit one note, it only plays one note at a time. So if you hit another note while you're holding down the first note, it's going to glide, or it's going to switch to that note. You can't play any chords on it. So it's very good at doing certain sounds, but you don't need it. So that's an example of it. It's a great thing that I use all the time. But big three: Massive, FM8, Absinthe. Now that's for synths. I think this might be on here, but battery. There we go. This is a drum sampler. So there's a demo of this too. This has a bunch of pre-done sounds and kits and stuff, but you can add in your own sounds. Basically what this does is it gets a bunch of samples, puts them along a grid, and then you can use that to be triggered by MIDI, and it's also kind of a mixer. and you can use it to modify the sounds as well. So you can add LFOs, low frequency oscillators. You can add effects. There is ADSR style envelopes for your volume. There's different kinds of engines you can use, compressors, tons of stuff you can do. It makes doing drums in electronic music much more easy than individually bringing in samples and different tracks and having to line them up. You just control it with MIDI, so it makes controlling a bunch of audio files manageable. And it's specifically applied to drums. So yeah, those are the most important things. If you're gonna learn anything, first, those are the biggest ones. Massive, I'd say number 1. FM8 is 2. Battery is probably number 3 because you need drums. And Absinthe is number 4. So get demos of them if you want. Watch some tutorials on how you use these softwares before you decide if you're going to buy them. Use this information whatever way you want. All right, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for new videos every Friday. See you later.